So another day, another way for Twitter to be angry, because apparently Natlin released his trailer, and apparently people aren't angry because apparently there's not enough niggas in the game. Apparently there ain't enough niggas in the game. People are losing their shit because the characters aren't dark as fuck. Because apparently if it ain't dark, it's white. That's how Twitter rolls. If it ain't dark, it's white. I mean, technically this is, I mean, not even technically, this is fine because this is mixed race. Even then, even if she was pure white, I wouldn't care. But you know, that's just Twitter. Twitter needs to be mad about everything because no, their 2D anime waifu isn't exactly how they think they should be, so they're gonna lose their mind. Because like it's so interesting to me how people will like fight for cultures that aren't even their own. And it's like, I promise you, the majority of people who are losing their mind over this shit are probably like white Americans sipping their Starbucks. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, the biggest argument I'm seeing is like, people are like, well, these characters are direct inspirations from, you know, like deities and like gods and like all these things from the West African culture. I'm just sitting there thinking, like, even if that's the case, they're still their own original character. Sure, they got inspiration from something else, but it's still an original character. That's like saying, okay, like, it's like, you know, Genshin Impact was inspired by Breath of the Wild, but Genshin Impact is still its own thing, right? It's like you can take inspiration from something but still create a completely original like creation. It is what it is, right? But it's like, okay, well, Natlin's supposed to be representing the Western culture, so it needs to be historically accurate. Like, it's like shit, like this post right here. Let's read this post real quick, right? GNSN, I'm assuming that's supposed to be Genshin. Genshin isn't real. They only draw inspo from cultures. They only draw inspo from cultures. As an excuse to the colorism in Natlin is ridiculous. Yunjin was beautiful rep of CN opera, even hiring a professional singer for a cutscene, and then they do this for a Yoruba deity. Don't piss me off. Well, Daily Nouvellette, don't know who the fuck. I am about to piss you off because literally everything you just mentioned about representation from Yunjin had nothing to do with the skin color. It had nothing to do with skin color. They represented Yunjin through the things that she wore, her being a Chinese opera singer. That's how she was a representation from for China. It had nothing to do with skin color. You're just making it about skin color because you want to be angry. Like, gives a fuck, right? Like, people need to understand the definition of cultural appropriation. It isn't like people from other cultures wearing your cultural like clothing, right? Like, I look at this and it's fine. Like, people are acting like they took Jean and stuck her in Natlin. Like, I could somewhat understand if the characters from Natlin look like Jean. Cause let's be real, Jean looks like she drinks pumpkin spice lattes from like as her breakfast every morning from Starbucks. Like, Jean looks like a fucking like a soccer mom. Jean is the most basic ass character in the game. She looks like a soccer mom. So I would kind of understand if it was Jean and people were losing their minds. But she has tan lines, my dude. She has tan lines, my nigga. Like, who gives a fuck? She's clearly mixed race. Who cares? But apparently, if they're not dark as me, if they're not a fucking shadow, then apparently they're white. And then they also do this shit where they'll take the original design of Hoyoverse and then just make her darker and be like, I fixed it. Like, yeah, this character that was originally designed from Hoyoverse, I had nothing to do with the design. I just took her, I added contrast and made her better. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't understand. Like, oh my god, it's like, I'm at a loss for words because I'm just trying to understand the mental gymnastics people will go through for all these goddamn JPEGs on their screen. Like, the level, like, these are the, like, I promise you, these are the same people that went on Twitter with Honkai Star Rail and everybody was like, Robin's actually gay because I want her to be gay. I promise you, these are the same people, right? Like, the way, like, bro, like, once again, like, they do this shit, but like, this is fine. I don't understand, like, why does she need to be so fucking dark? That's fine. Who cares? It's a fucking video game. Who gives a fuck? Like, oh my god, bro. And you know what's even funny? You know what's even funnier? if I'm gonna compare these two, I think this is better. I think this is better. Like, I swear to God, like, you'd think, like, it's like these people want, like, the characters of Natlin. It's like these people want the characters of Natlin. It's like they want the characters, like, it's like these people want the characters of Natlin to be straight up, like you go into Natlin, and then, like, it's like you meet some dark as fuck dude, and they're like, "Ah, Mr. Traveler, welcome to Natlin, and you have come to rescue us from our oppressors, eh? You've come to civilize the gods that have come to brutalize us, eh? My friend, you have come to save our village, eh? Come, please, come. I will feed you my yams and my cocoa butter, eh? My friend, you have come to my village, eh? I am the chief. I'm the commander in chief of Natlin, eh? My friend, I am the super of the dupas, eh? I am the one, the honored one of my country and my village, Natlin, eh? Like, I feel like that's what they're expecting. Like, they want some dark as fuck dude with some heavy ass African accent to come and to come and be like from Natlin. I feel like that's what they're expecting. Because if it ain't that, it's what? Oh my God, bro. Like, it's Twitter, bro. See, this is the endgame content I wanted. Twitter losing their minds. See, this is why I'm gonna play Natlin, because every new character that they release from Natlin that isn't dark as fuck, Twitter will lose their mind, and I'm gonna have a grand old time. Like, I think this is the first time I've come to in defense of Hoyoverse, but straight up, Hoyoverse, do your thing. Just do what you usually do, and don't listen to anybody. Just release your characters, straight up. Like, they need this motherfucker in Natlin. They need this motherfucker. These white dudes. Like, I remember there's an NPC in Sumeru, and like I think it was in Port almost that like that was like dancing. They need to do this shit for Natlin. They need to have the whitest of white NPCs just doing these exact dances in Natlin. That would be so funny. That would be absolutely hilarious. They need to do that shit. I know they won't, but if they did, I would crown Genshin better than all gacha games if they did that shit. But oh my God, once again, Twitter being fucking delusional as usual. Like, if they sit there and act like these characters need to be goddamn shadows in order to be considered black or like African, it's like, oh my God. Just people with too many. These are just people with too much time on their hands, so they want to bitch about something. Like, I swear to God. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Twitter is just doing its usual thing. They're being angry over nothing. But you know, it makes for good content. I'll tell you that. I'm enjoying it.